Hey, good morning, guys and gals. Mr. Herr here on this Friday morning. Hopefully, you've been enjoying your week and these videos have been helping out. Doing what I can on my end. I know they're not ideal. I apologize. Hopefully, next week sometime I'll be able to come back face to face for real. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll pick up with our notes where we left off yesterday. We'll talk about how to set up systems reading off of graphs. After we do that, in class there I'll have a quiz prepared for you, as well as page 48 in your homework booklet. And last but not least, I have an extra practice that is sort of a balance of the past 2 days, where you'll graph some inequalities and solve that system, as well as read a few graphs and set up the inequalities themselves. All right, let's do this thing. Sorry about the spring. Perfect. Perfect time to pause the video, grab your note packet. Just a quick little review while you're doing that. Yesterday we talked about graphing systems of inequalities, and specifically we talked about how to, plot our lines and then shade appropriately. Today, on the back page of that, we'll say, all right, what if we have the graph? Can we work backwards to solve for our inequalities? All right. So if you're saying, well, Mr. Herr, I don't even know how to start this. First thing I always do is I call one of the lines A and one of the lines B. Let's just start with line A. Specifically, let's look at the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept of A is 2. Okay, so down here I'll have A. I don't know my symbol yet, but I know it'll be y less than equal to, greater than or equal to, less than, greater than, all that good stuff, plus 2, because that is my y-intercept. And then I say to myself, all right, but what's my slope? Look for another quote-unquote clean point. There's another clean point. So it looks like from our y-intercept to that, we'd have to go up 2 over 1. So that means my slope is 2. Okay, and then let's look at our line. Well, a line is dotted, so the or equal to symbol is not there, and we're shading above that line, so it will be greater than, because we're shading above that line, but not or equal to because it's dotted. All right, on to letter B. Same idea, just a little faster. Look at our y-intercept. Check. Our y-intercept there is -3. Okay, and once again, look for a nice point. There's another nice point, so that's down 1, right 2. Well, that's down 1, right 2, so -1/2. Look at our line. Our line is dotted, so it will not be or equal to, and we are shading above that line, so y is greater than -1/2 x minus 3. Right there, folks, is the system that goes hand in hand with that graph. All right, 1 down, 2 to go. Hey, I'm going to call this A, or excuse me, 3 to go. Sorry for misspeaking. I'll call this A and call this B. Okay. Let's look at equation A, or inequality A rather. We cross at +3, so I'll have a y-intercept of +3. And then I'm looking for another quote-unquote clean point. Looks like I might have to go all the way down here. So that looks as though down 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4, right 1, 2, 3. So -4/3 x. Okay, now let's look at that symbol. It's a solid line, so it will have an or equal to. And notice we shaded below it. Oops, so sorry. So that means it will be less than or equal to for line A. Awesome. On to the next one. Letter B. Okay, right here. Our y-intercept is at -3. Awesome. And there's the same clean point. That looks great. So up 2, right 3. So that's a +2/3 x. And notice, dotted lines, so there's no or equal to there, and we're shading above it. So that is y is greater than 2/3 x minus 3. 2 down, 2 to go. Okay. 7's tricky because we'll call it line A here. Line A, I know, it's been a little bit since we saw a line like that. Horizontal, think hoi. Horizontal line, 0 slope, y, we normally say y equals, but this isn't y equals because it's a solid line and we shaded below it, but it does cross at 3. So 3 is my key number. Solid line tells me that there will be an or equal to, and because we're shading below, it is less than or equal to 3. All right, so far so good. Letter B, where do we cross the y-axis? Well, that's at positive 1, okay. What's our slope? Let's look for some clean points. There's another clean point. That's up 2, right 3, okay. So that's a slope of 2/3. And notice, dotted line, so we will not have the or equal to, but we're shading above. So it is strictly greater than. Okay, awesome. Last but not least, number 8. Okay, call this A, call this B. Well, let's look at A. A crosses our y-intercept at positive 3. There's a clean point right there, so that looks to be down 2, right 3, so that's a slope of negative 2/3 x. And solid line, notice though, over here you're shaded above that solid line, so it is greater than or equal to. Letter B, we cross our y-axis at negative 2. Okay, so then it sure looks like up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1. Okay, so I have a positive 1 slope. You could have the 1 there beside the x. It is not necessary. Notice it's a dotted line, and then we're shading below that, so that would be a less than, y is less than x minus 2. All right, so we have all our systems. Just recall, because we talked about this yesterday, in fact, you'll see some of this on today's quizzes, you'll see some of this on page 48, but then you'll also see some of what we did yesterday where we graph on our extra practice today as well. All right, have a great Friday, enjoy your weekend, fam. Peace.